round up 10th weekend of the season, mate. It's absolutely flying in.
Mate, madness, and that's what I was just saying to you there, wasn't it? It's like I was expecting a lot of games to be off this weekend, so a lot of credit's got to go to the ground staff of the clubs and the committees and that, getting plenty of football, and there's plenty for us to chat about this weekend, mate.
Well, no, I think Wishaw was called off, and Saltcoats, who were they playing? Can't remember who they were playing. That game was called off as well. Saltcoats were away. So I think it's only two that fell victim to it.
Yeah.
But before we get started, a big shout out to our sponsor, Caledonia Sports Clinic. They've been a private healthcare industry for 10 years with locations in the Highlands, Western Blantyre and Glasgow. They're a unique sports clinic offering a high level of care tailored to suit the client. Some of their services they offer are spinal manipulations, cupping therapy, sports massage, dry needling, injury prevention and post-surgery rehabilitation. There are 2 sports therapists. I was doing quite well there too.
You were doing well, mate.
Quite upbeat, I thought. They're the sports therapists for 2 World's Strongest Man and Europe's Strongest Man, Tom and Luke Stoltman. Our sports therapists have worked with Rangers, Clydebank and Darvel over the past 5 years. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook at Caledonia Sports Clinic. Thank you very much for sponsoring us, guys.
Brilliant, man. Best in the business.
Correct. Any wee niggles, anything going on, get her and see them. Get them to sort you out, because I mean they've even got the Stallman brothers there and everything. They support that wee team for Govan. Benbird they support. So Premier League. Glenafton 2, Darvel 2 on Friday night. Arthurlie 11, Petershill 1, Talbot 1, Rob Roy 2, Clydebank 3, Largs 2, Cumnock 3, Beef 3, Meda 3, Hurlford 2, Colwyn and 1, Pollock 1, Troon 1, Canvas Slang 0. A weekend of the top teams dropping points, my man. How was your game on Saturday? That good?
See, being honest with you, mate, I'll not even talk about it much. Second half we didn't turn up again. We weren't great in the second half, but watch Goms's interview, mate. Know what I mean? Goms says it all, mate.
Does
know what I mean?
What does he say? Because I've not seen it. For anybody who hasn't seen it, what does he say?
Nah, he's quite right what he said. They were the better side, to be fair, mate. Do you know what I mean? They were the better side, but he's talking about absolute battering and that. They had the best of the second half, definitely. But when you say a goalie's had to make top saves, you know what I mean? He's Big Josh hasn't had big saves to make. They've had a lot of balls into the box, but yes, I think that they deserve to probably win the game on the balance of play. But by the way, we could have nicked it at the end. Maybe Camille Crowe had a great chance. So
I watched the highlights earlier. Hughes did have one good save. Can't remember exactly. I think it was second half. It wasn't a cracking save. But it looked, obviously you can't really tell with the highlights. It looked reasonably close.
They definitely pinned us in the second half, mate. It was quite similar to Talbot. We got 1-0 up in the break and trying to get the boys going, try to G up a wee bit, and we just dropped half the game again. Do you know what I mean? It's not been ideal because we've been in a winning position the last 2 games, mate, and that. But we've not lost any of them either, to be fair. But at the same time, we're still a bit disappointed, and the Gaffer is, not. I mean, you want to win. You need to win the games, mate. If you want anywhere near that top of that league and you want to be challenging, you need to try and win these games. Unfortunately, we've not done enough in the games to do that, mate. But no, I think that Colwyn were good on the day, mate. The balance of play, they were definitely the better side. But I wouldn't say it was a classic. I think 2 teams towards the end try to win the game, mate. It was quite open. It was quite end to end. The last 5-10 minutes, to be fair. But I'd say they had the better of the game and probably deserved to win. So we end up we come away from a tough place to go with a point, mate. We move on to 2 weekends of cup.
Well, that's the thing. A win on Saturday would have taken you to Arthurlie. Granted, Darvel did a point in hand. Game in hand, sorry, but would have taken top of the league. But on that, winning, they are starting to put a wee bit of form together. We mentioned it last week. They're starting to do quite well. This league is. I'm just looking at the league table now. I mean, that's all the way down to 9th. Do you know what? I'm actually going to go even lower that. All the way down to 11th. There's 4 points separating the top 11.
I've never seen the league like this. I know it's only 6-7 games in for a lot of teams, mate, but
Mate, I can add in the meta to that since they've got games in hand, right, and they're finding a wee bit of form. They are in 13th place and 6 points behind, and they've got a game in hand on top of the league. So potentially they could be behind with a game in hand on some of the teams above them. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I think what the weekend results show you are the results of the last couple of weeks that anybody can beat anybody in any given day, and I wouldn't say like that's going to be putting any more twists and turns. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be ridiculously good. I mean, I'm going to touch on Clydebank in a wee minute, but we'll go straight to Arthurlie. Tremendous result for Arthurlie. I mean, I don't know what's happened with Petershill or no, but to score 11 goals against a team in this league is unbelievable, and it's a phenomenal result to Arthurlie, and well done to that.
Mate, what a result. Couldn't believe it. Well, we mentioned it in the dressing room after the game, 11 goals. And then, you know what it's like? One of the things I did myself, I went and looked at the PZ team. I was like, has there been some... Mate, they had a good squad there. They had a very good squad available. They had strong players on the bench. They had the likes of Archie, Dale Hepburn and all that on the bench. So they wasn't as if they were depleted or anything like that, do you know what I mean? So that's even more credit to Arthurlie. What a result. Big Gary Smith was doing the business. Griggsy got his first goal for the club. Boy Healy and that, and the fans with
hat-trick for Healy.
Hat-trick for Healy. So I said what a day that was for them and their fans and the players, and what that will do for confidence, because it's been a couple of good weeks for Arthurlie, beating Hurlford 1-0 and then winning that game 11-1. Do you know what I mean? They're putting a wee bit of form together, the new man, and Palmer's starting to kick them on. So no, really well done to Arthurlie, man. A top performance, one of the top performances of the day.
Yep. I mean, we're not naive enough to say even a couple of weeks ago teams are out there running or whatever. But Arthurlie, looking at it after the first 4 games at 3 points, you're like, they're not going to. And I still don't think that Arthurlie will be a serious contender. They're only sitting 4 points off the top of the league, you know what I mean? They're still giving themselves a great chance. I'm going to go into Clydebank beating Largs 3-2. It's a cracking result for Clydebank, because we know how difficult it is to beat Largs. Granted, Largs have lost 2 in the bounce now and still only got the 1 win. They're really difficult to beat. But I was looking at it a couple of weeks ago. We'd mentioned how Clydebank's run wasn't good enough. They're going to have to do better. Back-to-back wins in the league. I know they're sitting a point off the top of the league, and it's like it's straight back in action.
It shows you. And even probably for the whole atmosphere around the club is just completely changed probably in the space of a couple of weeks. So well done to them. Boy Higgins getting a hat-trick, his first for the club. Should do his confidence a world of good. Moff's rung of changes, and to be fair to him, it's in the backroom staff, it's really paid off with a couple of wins back to back, as you say, mate. But big one for me as well is the recovery of Kevin Green, mate, with that horrific, mate, injury, mate. That's as bad as I've seen for a tackle. So Kev's a brilliant guy, man, and
Happy birthday to Kev as well. Happy birthday to the big man.
Is it his birthday?
It's his birthday. I sent him a wee message for his.
For his birthday, and he's got a war wound. He's going to have some war wound with that. But listen, I hope he's not out too long, mate, and I wish him the best in his recovery, because that is a
horror show.
That's like something. Mind the Nuts magazines. Mind they have the wee page, the gruesome stuff on a page. You used to get
a couple of horny boys in his team would try and shag a gash like that too. Right, we'll move on. A huge result for Maxie and Rob Roy, sitting in joint top, second place in goal difference. You can't credit them enough for what they're doing. The run of form they're in is fantastic, man. Did you see any of the goals at it?
No.
The first goal, mate, for Rob Roy, what a header. Honestly, it's a good delivery in, kind of just past front post. Youngs went straight up, bang, smashes it, a great header. It looked like it started to get a wee bit of needle at the end on the highlights as well. There was Talbot got a penalty. I thought for me it was a penalty, definitely. Keir Sampson scored it, but it was both teams got a man sent off and all. It looked like a really good competitive game.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. And I tell you what, Maxie knows how to go and win down there, because that's the last twice they've went down there and beat them, especially with that game. It was probably that game that started, it was Scotland recovered, made sure they weren't getting relegated last year and kicked them on to go and finish the season strongly. When for them to get down there and win the game, we played Talbot on them a couple of weeks ago, and I was still saying how good a side they were. So for Rob Roy to go down there, win the game, sitting in an amazing position, Maxie's doing a great job. They've got great young players, and that's where losing players and all, because he's lost players. He's lost another young boy to Darvo as well, and the players continually doing the business for him now. So I think we've sung his praises a lot on the show, and deservedly so, and of the players as well, and they're continuing to make people stand up and notice it, because I tell you what, it's some difference from last year, because they finished the season on fire. They didn't start last season that great, but they've started this season very, very well, mate. So it'll be interesting to see where Kirky Rob Roy can finish this season, mate.
You're right in saying they've obviously lost a couple of players. Truesdale at the start of the season.
Truesdale and all, mate, aye.
Get the kind of departure to Darvo this week. That's a credit to Max and a credit to his players as well. See, for me, I think that I've gone completely blank on Young's name. Dylan, is it Dylan Young?
Dylan and the Crates and Hingway Young. There's
the two of them for the weekend. See, for me, Dylan Young is one that people would be looking at for me, because see all the games I went to last year, and I'm not saying.
But I think Dylan Young's the other young boy. I think you're thinking the other striker.
Robbie Young.
You're thinking Robbie.
See, for me last season, all the games I went to, so I think I probably went to about 15, 20 games last year. No saying he was the best player I've seen, but he was the player that stuck out the most to me. I remember watching him, and I thought, by the way, he looks good. And I was doing against the Med, I think he scored 2 or 3 that day, and I thought, he's a real player. And quite a wee guy too, wouldn't he say? He's a big, bustling type centre forward, but I thought he was a really good player.
I think Maxie's got a great knack to getting young players for senior clubs in 21s football. They've got the boy thing and all. Cairns, who's very good in the middle of the park, mate. He's got man of the match yesterday for them. We've seen that on the Twitter, who's a very good side. But now Maxie and his young team are doing well. But they've got a few experienced boys in there in Norway, KP and Go and Walker and stuff like that, who it's always going to help. Do you know what I mean? Big McNabb's up front for them, isn't he? So they've got a sprinkling of experience here, and that always helps. But what a top result that was for them, mate.
Excellent. Big result for George Grierson. Good start for him. It's a 3-2 win against Hurlford. Hurlford will obviously be disappointed. That's 2 in the
Was it 4-3? 4-3 it was, wasn't it?
Was it 4-3? I saw 3-2.
Nah, 4-3, mate.
3-2 on the league's website, so Martin, get a finger at me.
Was that? I'm sure it was 4-3, mate.
Regardless, it's a great result for the Meda. Hurlford have dropped 7 points in the last 3 games, which will be really but for George Grierson, that's a great win, really good win for them. And with games in hand, they're in a position where they win a couple of games, and that's him right back in the mix as well.
Yeah. George has went in, and he's getting a good start with him. Do you know what I mean? And getting that first win, and especially at home, is always good. It's good to get a crowd on side. It's good to and to be fair to George as well, he's went in and he's making a few changes. Seen he's get rid of a couple, and he's put a few out. And I seen Milky went out, and I seen a couple on the transfer list. The boy, is it Martin went to Largs? And I think that big boy Kieran's on the transfer list. I don't know if he's went. Jamie White too. So fair play to George. He's went in. He's obviously sussed it out the first couple of weeks, and then now he's tried to put his own stamp in it. And one of his signings got a goal. Got a goal yesterday, and I think that might have probably been in his debut as well. So brilliant for Irvin Meda. George is getting a tune out of them right from the start, and that is a great result because Hurlford are still a good side with good players there, mate, and they've shown early the last couple of seasons how good a side they are. But they've just kind of went after the ball just a wee bit the last couple of weeks, and Dan will be disappointed with that. But brilliant for Med. I thought that was a top result for him.
Cumnock and Beith for each. Two good sides. I think that Straney, we've spoke about it a few times. He's doing quite well with Beith. He started to turn them round. Gintz is doing a great job at Cumnock. Don't get me wrong, I thought that big Jamie Bartley made a couple of right good saves yesterday. He's a top goalkeeper, but I feel on the other side, I thought that just based off the goals, Beith would be quite disappointed because the keeper's made a blunder with the third, definitely. The third's his fault. And in the second one, I know he's unsighted. I don't know if you've seen it. He's unsighted with the shot coming in, but I thought he still maybe could have reacted a wee bit better. As a goalkeeper, if you see it, you maybe think differently for me. But I thought he was a bit slow to react, and it was just his side, so probably one he should have saved. But that's a decent point for both sides, I think, because both of them are in a good bit of form now.
Both of them are in good form, and a share of the spoils, mate. It sounds like a right good game as well. Not mean for each, value for money there, definitely. And both clubs are having good starts to the season. Both of them have got good management in place and that as well. So, no, that sounds like a right good game, and a point apiece. Shows you how evenly matched a lot of the teams are in it. But one thing I think Cumnock's going to give a right good game and a right scare. Dumbarton,
mate. See, the thing is, after Dumbarton getting scudded 6-0 yesterday, they might have a wee bit of dip in confidence.
And I think if we've seen Kilwinning yesterday, I think Kilwinning will do very well against Forfar. I think the teams have got a good chance, mate. I'm telling you.
Well, I hope so. Troon beating Cambuslang 1-0. Troon just doing what Troon do. Under the radar, only a point after Arthurlie. Cambuslang will be a bit disappointed. After getting their first win a couple of weeks ago, they've had back-to-back defeats. Friday night's game, Darvel and Glenafton. That's a great result for Glenafton because Darvel have been absolutely flying. But it's a really good result for Glenafton, getting the point there, but they need to start picking up points after only picking up 2 for the last 3 games.
Well, firstly on Troon, it's good for them to get back to keeping a clean sheet and they're back to winning ways after the result against Darvel the week before, which would have been a sore one to take, conceding 5 goals. So well done to them. Listen, Glenafton, big occasion for them under the lights. Probably, I'd imagine weather wasn't great, but I'd imagine there was still a good crowd there. Friday night games are always really good and very well attended as well. I think that Darvel down to 10 men. Daryl Meggitt gets sent off after about half an hour, but I think that Darvel still controlled the game for large spells possession wise. But tell you what, Glenafton with Shuggy Kerr playing, man, he's a handful. You know what I mean? And he can boss defenders about. He's a big strong boy and he's a quality player. So he's got a double. And they've ended up getting that. What I think for Glenafton is a very, very good point, and I know that McNatt he's proud of his boys because they've played a big spell of the game with 10 men. But it's good for the rest of the league because, as you say, Darvel were flying. They've still not lost the game, even though they've been down to 10 men. So, no, very well done to Glenafton and Darvel take, because I'd imagine that was a right good game. It's had a bit of everything in it, 4 goals, sending offs. I think it got a wee bit tasty at the end. I think it got tasty during it as well. And you're always going to expect that, do you know what I mean? There's passionate people at these clubs and they want to win games of football. So I think for what I heard as well, it got a bit tasty, but we don't mind that at all because as long as it's not over the top, do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Before we move on, something I meant to say at the start of the episode, a wee bit of sombre mood. We'd like to pass on our condolences to Roch's family, former Meda, Kilburney and Mary Hill player. Sadly, Gavin tragically lost his life yesterday. So we'd like to wish his family and his friends all the best at this hard time for them.
100% PG, mate. It's even it's even got me a wee bit flat, do you know what I mean? And I can't say that I knew Gavin personally, but there's boys in our team and on that yesterday as well that were the pally with him and ex-teammates of him and that, and to see how gutted they were and all the nice things that people are saying about Gav and listen, like even look at the wee clips of his footballing ability as well. Do you know what I mean? There's no doubt he was a brilliant football player, and his goal for the halfway line against Clydebank, man, that's what a memory that is,
exactly.
man. Do you know what I mean? For his family to look back on as well. But it's an absolute tragedy, mate, and my thoughts, as you see, he's got a young family too, mate. So it's absolute horrible, mate, and it hits you hard, mate, when you see things like that happening to people, mate, because you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, mate. Never mind seeing how good a guy he must have been, mate, with the amount of love and support and kind words that people are putting out there for him. So it's a bit of a sad one, mate.
Definitely. Right, okay. First division, Blantyre 1, the Roch 4, Cumbernauld 6, Bonnet 1, Drumchapel 3, Neilson 0, Gartcairn 1, Johnson Borough 0, Rossville 0, Thorneywood 3, Glencairn 1, Whitlets 1, Shotts 2, Kilburney 1, St Cadoc's 2, the Bens 3. What a day that was in the first division. Top teams losing all over the place. For me, special mention, every week it's looking like Davy and the Roch are making me eat humble pie. That was a fantastic result for him yesterday. I think that in that division, that's the result of the day. Excellent result because, I mean, Blantyre have been flying. They've been really good this season. It's a huge result for the Roch.
Scary good, mate. Scary good result because I think quite a lot this season we've been very complimentary of Blantyre and seeing how good a side they are. They don't concede many goals. So for the El Candy to get down there and score 4 goals and win the game so convincing is a brilliant result, man. That one did catch my eye. We always look out for the Candy results anyway, being an ex-player there and my feelings for Davy G, but brilliant, mate. What a result. They're buzzing there. Davy's doing a great job. He's got some old players back, like Dan Maguire and that, and they're popping up with goals, and John Henderson's even hitting a bit of form with him. Dawes still doing the business, and Davy Gregg is a good manager, and I think that he's doing really good down there. And tell you what, see one thing about the Candy, see when it's going well, mate, the atmosphere is very good, mate. Very good. You know what I mean? The fans are good, mate, and you can see it because every week you're nearly seeing a video of how their fans celebrating, you know what I mean? It's brilliant, that connection between the players and the management. But what a result for the Candy, mate. Brilliant.
No, mate, I was actually looking through the fixtures to see, because I should be able to get to a game on the 29th of this month, and I was looking to see if they were at home because I wanted to go, but I don't think they're away, sadly. So I'll need to maybe look and see.
You'd still get a good following of the Candy.
I know, but I want to go and get it properly filmed at James McGrory. I think that'd be really good. There's no been able to do it yet. Drumchapel, we mentioned them last week, absolutely flying. I think that's 9 on the spin for them in all competitions. Neilson obviously they've hit the skids now. They're having a really tough spell, but the Drum are just flying. David Templeton scoring another goal this weekend. They look like they're really on song now.
Big Green up front and all, not me.
Man a match for the weekend, I think it was.
They're good quality players, the Drum, and hoping the JB have got the boys clicking now. Confidence is very high. They're probably going into every game with this attitude that they'll beat whoever they come up against, and that's because of how good a team that they've got there. So they've hit form, playing really well, and they are one of the form teams in the league, and they're pushing right on, mate. They will be up there and thereabouts because they're a very good side, and Hopi and Jaibi and the boys are doing a great job doing that.
Definitely. Big result. Shotts, who I don't think they would mind me saying, are having a bit of a stinker this season so far. That's a huge result for them, beating Kilburney 2-1. Gets them some needed points to move them away or further away for the foot of the table. I'd imagine Tommy and his boys will be really disappointed because that was an opportunity to stay top of the league. New the Drum are a point ahead of them with a game in hand. But well done Shotts, because we know they've got quality, they've got a good manager, good players. So that's hopefully we're going to start seeing them kind of showing some of the form you'd expect for them.
To be honest with you, mate, see shots winning, the biggest compliment I can give him is I'm not shocked, because John's a good manager. They've got some good players down there as well, man. So it's always a matter of time before they picked up a big win. It's no good for Kilbirnie. They've not got their top spot, but as we see with that league, and there's nobody going to run away with it. So that was one for shots that we thought was a brilliant result. Be disappointing for Kilbirnie as well, because just sitting in the top of the league, even though it's very early days, it's always nice. It's always good for the fans, and it's always good for the management, the players to look and see you yourself at the top of the tree, mate. But brilliant for shots, and well done to John, because he did a couple of tough ones this season, and he's never had these frustrations with trying to get players in and stuff like that. So it's good to see him getting a good result, mate.
Definitely. Another team who were right down there in the mix, really struggling. Benburb hadn't won any of the last 4, only picking up a point in the last 4, beating St Cadoc's 3-2. The Darren Miller effect, apparently he's been praised by his teammates for having a great performance, getting himself a wee assist. For me, that is, we spoke about it the other day there when it got announced that he was going out on loan. Obviously, I don't think Mick would have sent him to anybody in the Premier League, but for the Bens, that's a top signing, and maybe already had a right good impact, because that's St Cadoc's first defeat of the season in the league, and that's a really big win for the Bens.
You get Darren getting down there is brilliant for them. You know what I mean? He's a quality operator. You know what I mean? He scores goals. He tees up goals as well. So it's a great impact for him, and I expect more to come for him, to be honest. He's got a good partnership with Aaron Black, mate, as well. So I think that you'll see the best of him as well. They seem to have a wee connection on and off the park as well. But no, it's a brilliant result for the boys down there, Frank and the boys, and that they'll take real confidence for that one, because we've spoken on the show about how good St Cadoc's are, and they've got some quality ballers, mate. So no, that's a biggie. That's a biggie for the Bens, and you might just start seeing the Bens start to turn the screw on and start to climb the league in places. You know what I mean?
Another result. I watched the highlights this morning because I was dead busy at work.
You were good this week. We were watching the highlights.
I know, mate. I managed to get quite a chunk watched this morning when I was at work, because we didn't have much on.
Good, mate.
But Cumbernauld 6, Bonnyton 1. Bonnyton, we've praised them quite a lot recently. We know Cumbernauld have got a lot of quality. And it's no surprised me that Cumbernauld have won, but I was surprised at the margin. But watching the highlights, Bonnyton, without being too disrespectful, looked shocking at the back. Really, really poor. Which again surprised after a couple of really good results for them.
But that's a one-off, PG, because you know, as you say, they've had some good close results, and they've won a game, and they've drawn that the last couple of weeks. So maybe it's just been a bad day at the office for them. But I definitely agree with you. Fancy Cumbernauld to win that game, but I didn't fancy them to win by that margin. So that's impressive stuff with Cumbernauld.
Definitely. A team that we've not spoken too much about, Gartcairn beating the Borough. It's a really good win. That takes Gartcairn into 5th place with 13 points, a game in hand on the Drum and 2 on Kilbirnie. So potentially winning games in hand, go top of the league. Mick's doing a really good job there, and quite under the radar. They normally get mentioned a lot when they've been in the lesser leagues, where because they've got a bit of money to spend and everybody's talking about them. But in that league, they're just kind of in with the top 4 or 5 with what they spend, and it's a really, really good start they've had to the season.
I think Mick will probably be happier that they're flying under the radar a wee bit, do you know what I mean? Because it means that there's less people putting pressure on you, and the players and that as well, and they just quietly going about their business. But if they keep getting results like that and keep climbing the table, then they'll be getting spoken about a lot more, and Mick will be getting used to it as well. This is his first job, even though he's been in the game, played senior, and he's been assistant manager at Gorms, but he's been his own man, mate, and he's probably be getting players in all the time as well with his contacts. So I think Cairn, if they can hang in there, they'll keep getting better.
Aye, definitely.
What about T-Wood, top Thornleywood? Did you mention?
I was just going to finish on them. I'm going to touch on Glencairn and Whitlets. 1-0. Whitlets, after winning the first 2 games of the season, 6 in the bounce without a win, only getting 1 point in that time. Glencairn, 4 undefeated in the league in a row now. That's them starting to turn it on a wee bit as well. But I don't think Whitlets will be too unhappy with that result. That gets them that first point after a poor spell for them against a decent side. But Glencairn, I'd imagine they'll be looking at that as 2 points dropped without knowing much about the game.
Yeah. I don't add much to that. Do you know what I mean? Whitlets will be happy to get a point on the board because they've lost a few of late. Do you know what I mean? So that stops that and gives them something to build on this week's training. So it's a good point in all because Glencairn are a good side.
Good side. To finish up, just like you're saying, Thornleywood, really impressed with Thornleywood. That's 4 out of the last 6 they've won. 3-0 win. I know Rossvale are having a really tough time, only having 2 points. But Thornleywood, I think we've both, even last season, we praised them quite a lot. And I think with the budget they'll have let themselves, and Johnson, Burr and Nielsen won't have the budget to match a lot of the teams in that league, but all sitting in reasonably strong positions. So I think it's a cracking win for Thornleywood.
Totally agree, mate. Top result. 3-0, clean sheet, brilliant. Ali Small in the goals. And listen, that's job done. And they're our team quietly getting about their business, but doing really, really well. And to be honest, it might be a surprise to most, but it's not a surprise to myself anyway, because really rating Izzy and Dolzy and that as a management team. And as you say, mate, you're bang on what you're saying. Budget-wise, they can't maybe compete with top 5, 6, even 7, 8 teams in that league. Do you know what I mean? So they're punching well above their weight. They've ended up getting a double promotion last season, and they're more than holding the rein in that league this year. So they deserve big credit for me if the work that's getting done down there.
Definitely. On to the second division. Ardeer 1, Greenock 1, Craigmark 3, Glasgow Uni 1, Greenock 1. Oh, no, sorry, Craigmark 3. Fuck's bad done here. Who did Ardeer played Maryhill? My mistake.
Why is Ardeer Maryhill?
Ardeer 1, Maryhill 1. Craigmark 3, Glasgow Uni 1, Greenock 1, Forth 1, Kilsyth 0, Petershill 1, Maple 2, Muirkirk 1, Renfrew 1, Ashfield 1, the Ants 4, Glasgow United 1. Start on Renfrew, Ashfield. For me, 2 of the most exciting teams in the league. Renfrew finally dropping points. 6 wins, 1 draw. They're still absolutely flying. Ashfield, I listened to Mick's interview today, talking about how they had 10 missing. He's like, he says he wasn't making excuses, but he's like, we've got 10 missing, 7 on holiday. So 7 on working or injured and some on holiday. That's a really good result for them, I think, with that kind of circumstances, going to Renfrew and being slightly disappointed not to come away with 3 points. But again, Jimmy and his team at Renfrew still undefeated. It's been a really, really strong start to the season for them.
Very strong for Jimmy and Renfrew. They weren't going to go win every game. No, I mean, it's very difficult to do that, especially with conferences this season that's so evenly matched. But I think it's a good point for both teams. You know what I mean? Especially with Mick and Ashfield been missing quite a few bodies, and it's never an easy game. And Mick's doing a really good job doing at Ashfield as well. And I think that's a good point for both, mate. And I think that they'll be relatively happy with that, and they'll move on. So that's Renfrew's 100% record gone, and Ashfield have got a point at the game as well. So I think that's quite happy for both teams. Probably will be happy with that.
I would think so. Going to touch on Craigmark, back to winning ways after the defeat to Maple. I was told in work, I'm not to call them Mabel anymore, it's Mabel. I don't know.
Is it? Never called them
that. A couple of Ayrshire folk in work were correcting me because I was talking about it, and they were correcting me.
And you see, it's like when they were correcting us about that Mary Mass.
The Murmus.
The Murmus. Nah, Mary Mass. See how it's spelt.
Milne Gabby.
Mabel, mate. Mabel won. It was a brilliant result for Mabel.
They won 2-1 against Muirkirk. Craig Mark get himself back to winning ways, keeping himself within a point of Renfrew. But having said that, Mabel, I've got himself within 2 points. It's looking really tight. Ashfield sitting on 15 points now. For me, they're looking like the top 4 that are going to be.
There's a wee gap there between, I think, 4 or 5 points or something between the top 4 and the rest.
Aye, so they're looking at I'd say this is one of the only leagues where there looks to be a kind of more normal like structure in it. Where you look at the Premier League where fucking who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, great result for the 2 teams, beating Glasgow Uni and Craig Mark, and Muirkirk losing to Mabel. Good results for them.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Smashing. Thanks for input. Petershill, another one. We've been talking about them the last few weeks. That's a really good one for them. That's 4 games in a row undefeated, 3 wins and a draw. Because Coolside, I think they're starting to pick up a wee bit. I know they're probably not doing as well as they would like in terms of points, but they're starting to pick up a touch, and that's a good one for Petershill going away there.
Aye, very good result, keeping a clean sheet, especially with seeing Living that. I mean, I think that the team took charge of the team last week and they won, and then had them again this weekend. So, him and Scott Upton as well. So
that's Scott involved with him now. Aye, I know Scott's.
Scott's been there as a player, isn't he? So I think because he's probably one of the most senior players at the club still, and he's been there a long time. I think he's helping Livy like kind of interim management type until they either whether or not they're going to go for the job or want the job. It would be a good appointment if they did. But they'll be disappointed with that bit. Shire going down to Coolside, keeping their clean sheets never easy, and that is a really good win. And Billy seems to be getting a turn out the players, so he must be getting the consistent numbers that's always maybe been the downfall sometimes for the Shire. But it's good to see, mate, that the football is going well for the Shire.
Definitely. Arthurlie and Maryhill drawn 1 each. 2 teams who are the bottom 2. Arthurlie 1 up, and then Maryhill pulled it back. Apparently quite a good match. 2 teams who I think they're better than the league position. But again, it's a lot because of the way it's been with the conferences getting split. There's so many teams that are so even that it's hard for teams to pick up points. But I suppose if they're both losing 3 in a bounce, they'll both not be too disheartened with the fact that they've picked up a point.
Aye, it stops that wee losing streak going further. Do you know what I mean? So for both teams, they'll probably management will be relatively happy with the point, and it means it gives both of them something to build on, and it's not like negative that they've lost a game. Do you know what I mean? So listen, the 2, Mark and Sean, they want to win games of football, so they would have wanted to have won the game and had 3 points, but for Maryhill going down to Ardiere's never an easy place to go, and then obviously for Sean at Ardeere, form's not been great of late, but that's better. Do you know what I mean? There's a point there and there's something to build on, and they'll do that, and that I totally agree, mate. 2 sides that are more than capable. We've got 2 good management teams and climbing that league, mate. I expect them to climb it a bit, both of them.
Yep. We will go into Greenock and Forth, no spoken about them yet. Another draw. This league's been very tight this week. Other than the Ants and Glasgow United game, it's been very tight. I think that's a no bad point for both teams. Both sitting on 11 points. Greenock with a game in hand. Nixon's got a very young team there, but Forth are just one of the teams that they again fly under the radar. They're very tough to beat. 1 each is what it is, really.
I don't think there's much to say on it. Do you know what I mean? As you say, it's been a tight week in that league with no much between a lot of the sides. And as you say, Ants was the impressive one with scoring the 4 goals against Glasgow United. I know they've been struggling a wee bit of late, Glasgow United, but for the Ants and Danny's mob to score 4. But on the other games, it's been quite eachy peachy, mate, and I think that shows you how tight it is.
Definitely. To finish on the Ants, 4-1, 4-0 up. Glasgow United scoring a late consolation. We've spoken a lot about the Ants, and obviously it's a club that I really care about because I'm still pal with a lot of people there and stuff, and I had my spell there. It's good to see because they're. I honestly think that the job Danny's done there and with Ronnie's help think it's really impressive because, I mean, we both know that they're on their arse when it comes to money. I mean, they have not got a bean, and they seem to put a decent team together, a young team. Kieran Smith, want to wish him all the best. Dislocated his knee on Saturday, so I'm hoping Kieran's just a young boy, good boy for Erskine, and I'm hoping he's not going to be out for too long. But that was a really good result for for the Ants. Glasgow United, though, they're having a wee bit of turmoil now. Hearing rumours that it's been a wee bit not the best behind the scenes. So hopefully that's something they can sort out, because I think they've got a good management team there who built good teams at amateur. They just need a bit of time to get it right at this level.
Aye, mate. I don't care. I wish him all the best as well. It's a slow one, but he's young, fit, young boy, and I'm sure he'll be back playing in any time. Aye, Danny's done an incredible job in there. Got a very competitive team, good team at that as well, and that's a good result. Aye, Glasgow United. Listen, you want managers to keep getting time. Do you know what I mean? You want them to try and stamp their authority on it. Do you know what I mean? And I agree, mate. I hope that the boys get that, mate.
Aye. Division 3, Finnart 1, Ardrossan 5, Girvan 0, Villaclyde 6, Irvine Vicks 4, Newmains 0, Kello 3, Dorai 0, Larkhall 4, Cullook 0, Lesmahago 2, Port Glasgow 4, Royal Albert 1, Lanark 4, Villa Leven 0, East Kilbride 2. First game, we'll just go straight for the tap. Finnart losing 5-1 to Ardrossan. Ardrossan, I expected them to win that, but I didn't expect that kind of margin. Ardrossan are really turning on. That's 4 wins out of 5 with a draw in between. They're really starting to turn it on. Gav feels he's got a very, very good squad there.
Cutler really good signing, didn't he?
Ryan Wilson,
another
really good signing.
That's another good signing. He scored goals down there, mate. Especially in that league as well. He'll score goals, so that's just made them even stronger as well. Is it the boy Curran or something? Got a hat trick.
I think it was him.
I think he's been scoring a lot of goals of late for them as well. So if that becomes him and Wilson up front, a wee partnership going, that could be a deadly partnership. Could be the firepower that fires into the title. But Ardrossan are starting to show their class. And to be honest with you, we fancied them, didn't we, at the start of the season, especially with Gavin in the hot seat, who know this level tremendously well. Their contacts are brilliant, you know what I mean? And they've played at the top level at annual leagues and that back in the day, and they're very, very switched on individuals. So Ardrossan are really kicking on, and I think that they're just going to keep motoring on. The confidence is high at the camp. They're scoring loads of goals in it.
Yep. Kello back to winning ways, a 3-0 win. Impressive win at Dorai, because I know Dorai have had the points deduction. They're no sitting in the best of places. I think their chances a league title, like I predicted, are gone already. They're 13 points back after 10 games.
That job the boys have done at Kello,
mate, unbelievable, isn't it?
And I'll tell you right now, before the ball was kicked the start of the season, I did not see Kello. And then even when they got beat, the first game that they did get beat, you're sitting going, is that maybe them going to their bubble burst? And it's certainly no, mate. They've shown great character to bounce back for it, and they've got a bit about them, mate. And the management team, the new management team down there are doing really, really well. So well done to Greg in that, and I think that they are going from strength to strength. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Another big one we're talking about how well they've done is Larkhall, 6 in the bounce. 4-0 against Cullook. Cullook, after having 2 wins back to back, they looked like they were kind of starting to turn on, but Larkhall seems to be a different level for them than now. It's a really good
win. Firepower, mate, in it. They're blitzing teams, they're scoring loads of goals, man.
That's another, I mean, that's 35 goals they've scored this season in 10 games.
Brilliant, mate.
That was a team we didn't mention in our season preview. I didn't expect anything like that from them. I thought they probably would have been a bit mid-table-ish, maybe top half, but that's been excellent for them. Lanark beating Royal Albert 4-1 as well after having a couple of tough weeks. They've got themselves back-to-back wins, putting themselves back into a point away. But for me, a team that we've not mentioned a huge amount, we spoke about them earlier in the season, Irvine Vicks. They win their games in hand, they go tap. I mean, they've won 7 in the bounce after losing their first game of the season. Back week off last week, back in this week. Really impressed with how well they're going this season.
Aye, and I was impressed when we watched them in that derby. Not mean they were the Mary Mass, mate. The Mermas. They were very good, mate. I thought, especially on that day, they deserved maybe they could have won the game and all, and probably feel gutted that they never at the end. But no, they're a good side, and Dougie's got a good atmosphere getting down there now and all. Do you know what I mean? The fans are buying into it, and I tell you what, they gave him time, mate, and they've believed in their manager. And look what's happening now. It's a good atmosphere with the players. When we spoke to Franny and stuff, he's always said how good a dressing room it is. And we went down and Dougie was dead upbeat about the dressing room and what's going on kind of behind the scenes as well there. So, no, Irvine Vics have done very well. And as you say, they've had a couple of weeks with games and all. So that gets them back on track.
Definitely. Another good one for Asa East Kilbride. That's 3 out of 4 since he's been in charge of the team. They're starting to climb their way back up the table because they had lost quite a few in a row before that. So he'll be pretty happy with his team. I think they've been, other than the odd game, they've been fortunate in terms of who they've played. It's been lower down teams, but at the same time, that's building the confidence for the players, and they've got a lot of experience in that team. We spoke about it numerous times. It's another good win for them.
Aye, no, it's a great result. Aye, and listen, Naz has done well. He's picked points up. Do you know what I mean? So the players are buying into what he's doing in there, and listen, you can't grumble with that. They're climbing up the league, but they've got quality players there, and fully expected them to climb it at some point. And it's good to see them anyway, starting to climb the league again. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, it is that.
Villa Clyde,
just looking at that one now, great result against Girvan, really strong result there.
Yeah, the way Girvan had been going the last couple of weeks with the new management team, as they'd had a wee jag, and they'd been winning and picking points up and stuff like that. So for Villa Clyde to get down there, which is a tough place to go, it's a long journey, mate, and an absolutely dish out a top performance with plenty of goals. Look, man, I'm just even getting the feet up here. I'm getting comfy now.
I know, mate. I'm just texting her now to tell her to bring down my charger because my iPad and my Apple.
Oh, yeah, I'll wait and I'll show you this, right? Well, I had my feet up, right? Right?
Mate, was that what the picture was? I seen people commenting, but you deleted it.
I had the rain, no, but that was Saturday morning, quick story, right? Jill was doing her nails because we had a night out last night, so the rain done her toenails and she said, Daddy, can I do yours? And I said, no, I'm going to football. And I totally forgot when I went to football, mate, and I was changing in the changing room, man. I had big red nails, mate, big red toenails, mate. I had the Pollock toenails on, man. and I've still not got it off. I need Joe to get it off. Yeah,
stick them back up. I'm going to take a picture and I'll put it on Twitter. Put them back up. Right.
Mate, I'm going to take crap. I've been destroyed after last season my house this weekend because anyway,
Villa Clyde, great result, man. Great result.
Mate, sorry Villa Clyde, man, I had to get my tootsies out, man. I'm speaking about the result, but no, brilliant result, man. Dishing out a bit of hammering down there. She's always been a tough place to go to Girvan any time we went down there as well, and as I said, the new management team were Gary spark at them, so that's real impressive. Villa Clyde look as if they're going to be up there challenging as well, and they look as if they've got things right on the park this season, and they're just gone dead nicely now.
Aye, definitely are. I think that what's that? I think that's 7 out of 9 they've won. I had that wee blip last week, but top form after losing that first game of the season.
Good form.
We'll move on to Division 4. BSC 0, Thorn 6, Campbelltown 2, Kilsyth 3, Easterhouse 2, Harmony Row 0, Glenvale 4, Rossville Academy 7, Thrieve 3, Eglinton 0, West Park 3, St Peters 0. We will start on, for me, the match of the day in that league was West Park and St Peters. Really, really good win for West Park. That puts 3 wins in a spin for them. I didn't expect that to be the result. I've said earlier in the season and in the preview that St Peters won't win the league for me because they're a very young side. They're a very good side, but they're young and the inexperience might show at times. And without having seen the game yesterday, I feel that's maybe one of the occasions. You go and beat Threave, get a really good account of yourself, and then you get beat 3-0 at West Park when it's a game that you really don't want to lose.
West Park a good side, mate.
No, definitely are.
West Park a good side. If you Stefan Graham playing with him and that, not I mean, I seen he get man in a match yesterday, and boys are player. They've got good players there. So I get it. I do get that. Maybe St Peters will be that wee bit maybe inconsistent at times, or they'll maybe just for young boys sometimes the big games it just gets a wee bit in tapering. But listen, they've had a great start to the season. But West Park, that's a brilliant result, and I think that the league's really heating up that Division 4. Because you get West Park doing the business. You alright?
I'm just getting the charger. Siobhan's just brought it in for us. On you go, mate.
You alright, Siobhan?
Yeah. There you go, get it.
Oh, honestly, I get patched
out. She did say hello.
Did she?
Aye.
That's alright then. She's lucky then.
She's away, mate. Don't worry about
it. But no, Division 4's heating up well because you get Fawn starting to hit the form. You've got Kilsyth at a good side, Threave, West Park, Peters at a good side. So it's heating up nicely at Division 4. And the teams that have come into it are adding good value to it as well. So it is really good to see. But that was a brilliant result for West Park.
Thought it was a nice touch as well with West Park on their Twitter after the game. Commenting on St Peters trying to play football the right way, even right to the death when we were 3-0 down. I thought it was a nice wee touch for them.
Aye. That's a great club, man. I've played with that club for many a year, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, they were down in the ship before they picked themselves up since then.
Fair play to them.
Kilsyth 3-2 to Campbelltown. It looked like Campbelltown gave them a bit of scare. I think Kilsyth went up twice, Campbelltown pulled it back twice, and Kilsyth got a late winner. Only team left who had the perfect run after Renfrew dropping points yesterday.
Fair play to Campbelltown.
Yeah, I know. We've said this many times. I mean, it's particularly yourself talking about it. You know that Campbelltown, when they travel away, it's going to be difficult for them. But see, going to Campbelltown, when we've both been there, it's no easy when you go there to try and get a win.
Oh, but even look at even I seen Kilsyth's Twitter through the week. Bailey, mate, his birthday, 23. 23, mate. 23 and he's smashing management, mate.
After the open goal boys talking about
I know,
interview with Cabe, youngest manager at 29.
We're just a wee bit of shite at the bottom.
I know. I had to comment. I couldn't let young Bailey get mentioned in that, particularly when his team's on a perfect run right now. Perfect run,
mate. You've Kilsyth doing really well, mate. But fair play to Campbelltown, really giving them a tough afternoon.
Definitely. 3 back to winning ways against Eglinton. Excuse me. 3-0 win. Good for them to get back to winning ways and a clean sheet. Eglinton, I think they're just kind of plugging away. First season for them, they've got to find their feet.
Yeah.
But Threave are an established side and a good side at that, so that was a good win for them. You mentioned the Thorn. For me, this might be the shock scoreline. I fancied Thorn to win. BSC have had a really good season. I didn't expect a 6-0 for the Thorn.
That's it, mate. It's a brilliant result because BSC have shown this year that they're capable of winning games, and they've had a good steady start where they've been up there, thereabouts. So for Thorn to go, man, that's just showing you the work that's getting done at Thorn. They're starting to find their feet a wee bit, do you know what I mean? And because there is a big difference, you know what I mean? And I've probably got some young boys playing with them themselves as well. So this takes you that wee bit of time to start to get used to it, because even boys that are coming for amateur and that as well, it is a wee step up, you know what I mean, to do it consistently. And but it's a very impressive one for Thorn. But they're a good club, a good club, a good name, very well run clubs, you know what I mean? Thorn's always been a team that you've always known. good teams, well run, try to play football the right way, and that's shown that they're trying to do that with their first teammate, and that's a very good result.
Yep. Easterhouse, back-to-back wins as well after getting their first win in the league last week. Another one yesterday, beating Harmony Row 2-0. Obviously, it's been a stinker for Harmony Row, but for Easterhouse, that's a good win. Gives them a wee bit of gap on the bottom teams as well. Again, not going to win the league, but it's good for them to start picking up some points.
I said I'm not surprised with Mark. Not I mean, Mark's
he knows the level well.
Mark's young, still in management terms, age-wise. You know what I mean? I think, but he's probably he's mid-30s, you know what I mean? But you feel as if he's been about for a while because he's had the Vela Clyde job and then he's been in as a coach at Arthurlie. But I know it's good for him and he'll continually get better with him. Like, you know what I mean? I feel expecting to have a decent season, first season now. They're winning games, they're finding the formula to win games, but I think next season's the one where he'll try and go and win the league. Do you know what I mean? The first one's the most difficult one season, and then they'll kick on for there. So no, Harmony Row, I feel for. I was talking to Keith Waitry next to us on Monday. I was talking to him last week. They've had 5 goalkeepers, mate, already this season. 5, mate. So I think that's where the big problem's coming for, mate. I think they've had goalies getting injured and stuff like that, and I think it's a position they've maybe struggled with. But saying that, do you know what I mean? He's a nice guy, mate. He's going to just keep working away at them. You see how he likes to work his boys on a Monday as well, and he's upbeat, he's positive, and that's everything you want in a manager. So you're just hoping that he gets a wee turn players wise, you know what I mean, and then the Harmony Row can kick on again.
Yep. To finish us off, Rossville Academy, after 5 defeats in the spin, they go and take 7 after Glenville and a 7-4 victory away from home. Bit surprised at that one as well. Glenville have not had a good season, only 1 win, 6 defeats, but to lose 7 goals at home, not something that they'd be happy about. But really well done to Rossville to get himself back to winning ways after a really strong start.
7-4, mate. No, I mean, what's that, man? What's mate? A 5 on, mate, of £6. Brilliant. 11 goals, but what's the defence he's doing? You say Glenville, they've scored 4 goals at home, man. I think they've won the game and then they've lost the game. No, I mean, that's
quite comfortably.
Aye, that just shows you, mate. But defensively, the managers will not be happy with that. But going forward, the 2 teams must have put some nice stuff together. But very good result for Rossville, scoring 7 goals away from home's brilliant, do you know what I mean? So really well done to them. And Glenville and John, that deal, it's just not been a great start of the campaign for them. But same with them, hopefully it takes a wee turn for the better.
Yep, and that will do us for another week. I don't know if we have anything else coming up, just due to work circumstances. We'll not be able to get in. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can get to a couple of games. No. Next game is 24th. Next game is the mighty Pollock in the Scottish Cup on the 24th. I'm looking forward to that.
Aye, mate, it should be good, mate. What's happening? I would love to get into that Cumnock and Dumbarton game,
no, mate, I'm working that night as well.
I'm going to see what I can do, man. I might need to put a permission slip into Mrs. Dyke and see if I can get down there, even if I'm down there in my Todd. Just to be about the place would be good.
I know, mate.
Because you know how well our last wee trip to Cumnock was. It was very good, wasn't it?
It was good. It was an excellent night we had.
The hosting of Cumnock's very nice.
That is indeed. So that'll do us for another week. Hope everybody has a good one and enjoy whatever game you go to next Saturday.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your week, people.
Take care of yourselves, people. All right.
See you later.